Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Station. We're here to be viewing School Days. Shit.
So everything that makes me wrong, even give me reasons I get
You know when you come inside during the winter from the cold, your bundled up clothes making you feel incredibly hot when you come in, causing you to itch like crazy and feel weird? Well, School Days is the anime equivalent of that. The first few episodes are typical high school anime stuff. Guy falls for girl with big boobs. Tomboy friend sets them up, and tomboy friend starts realizing that she too has feelings for him. Sounds simple enough, right? And then we have Makoto and Sekai, the two main characters, having practical sex by episode 4 on the school roof of all places. There's a lot of talk about School Days. We get legions of fans praising it as a masterpiece, and we get legions of haters calling it an absolute piece of shit that I wouldn't watch if you paid me. Personally, I found it a bit in the middle, and I actually enjoyed this anime. In my opinion, this anime was actually quite good, but not in the traditional sense. I did not enjoy watching the series. In fact, I hated it. The only preparation I had for watching this series was a gut feeling of what the series would become. After watching the first episode, and that gut feeling ended up to be very valid, I ended up watching the entire series in one setting. This anime did exactly what it intended to do, which is make me disgusted with the fact that I was alive, and it made me shower every day for the rest of the week.
What, you don't want to shower?
It also showed the very worst that teenage pressure and irresponsibility can offer. If you plan to watch this anime after this review, do understand that it is not happy. You will be frustrated. You will be angry. You will feel the need to punch your brother very hard in the face because he calls you a sissy for watching such an anime.
Wait, what? Harry!
I told you to shut up! Anyway, let's talk about the show. With all the talk about School Days, I'm gonna have to get nitty gritty and point out the absolute worst first. And that thing would be our lead, Makoto himself. I have to say, after watching anime for years now, I have to say he's one of the biggest pricks I've ever seen in any anime. Shallow, selfish, uncaring, and showing no signs of humility towards the girls he has sex with. I mean, what is so attractive about this guy? Makoto is less a protagonist and more so a sex-craving jackass. To further emphasize how idiotic he is, when I watched this show with another friend, we counted no less than 50 times of him being a complete jackass to others. Any other girls he meets are mainly here in the show to present him to have sex with. Just why? I mean, why? What is the point? He's not even that attractive. What is so attractive about this guy? I couldn't wrap my head around this. I had to watch this show twice and I couldn't figure out why he was so desirable. I mean, he is not worth the trouble that this anime leads up to. And one of the other reasons I think people dislike it, and another reason people crave it, is because of the ending. The ending is, needless to say, a bit shocking and deadly. I will explain this in about 5 seconds. I bet you're wondering, what is this ending that everyone keeps whining on about? Well, spoiler alert! Yeah, at least to say School Days doesn't have a happy ending. But enough about, let's say, Sir Prick. Let's talk about the other characters. Like that psychotic, over-attached, pathetic little girl that turned him into a human shish kebab. Sekai Sonoji, a playful and outgoing classmate seated directly next to Makoto. She takes a curious interest in him during their first acquaintance, and in every meeting in the series, she helps establish his bond with Kotonoha, his main girlfriend. Though generally upbeat, Sekai does occasionally show a more serious side, and when sufficient can be loud, selfish, over-emotional, and even manipulative. Because it turns out all the time she's nothing more than just a scheming, backstabbing bitch that you couldn't trust if you were falling off a 5-foot cliff. She lives with her mother, Yoko, in the fictional area of Motohiro Sakishita, and works as a part-time waitress with her family restaurant. In the anime, she attempts to set up Makoto and Kotonoha in a relationship, but ultimately ends up falling in love with Makoto. Makoto, bored with just being in a single relationship with Kotonoha, decides to go after Sekai, who he supposedly impregnates after making love to her. Shit. Has this guy never heard of a condom? Makoto is stressed and confused about what to do with Sekai's pregnancy. He decides to leave and leg it a fucking mile to Kotonoha's place, where they end up having sex there. He understands he's emotionally devastated Kotonoha by cheating on her. Sekai then, like we just saw, stabs Makoto to death for his unfaithfulness to her, only for Kotonoha to kill her later on in the series. And the most fucked up part about that was that Sekai didn't have a fetus, which means she wasn't really pregnant, which means Makoto really died for nothing. I mean, yeah, he was a bit of a dick and he slept around, but I don't think turning the boy into the human shish kebab was a deserving method. Honestly, I think a rightful end to the show would have been him ending up alone, thinking about what he could have had, but I'm just me. But despite that graphic ending and all the things that frustrated me in the show, I actually enjoyed School Days a bit. Because, yes, it made me angry and very violent towards my family, which ended up me being in a fucking police cell because I'm addicted to violence. But anyway, I digress. I actually enjoyed School Days, and if you had to sort me into the crowd of fanboys and haters, I'm going to have to go to the fanboys. But I do understand why the haters hate this show. I mean, yes, it has its flaws, and even though I liked it, it frustrated me. But anyway, here's what I finally think about School Days. Anyway, my final overall score of School Days is 6 out of 10. Because I really enjoyed this anime, but there are just too many flaws with it for me to go anywhere near 7 or higher. I mean, I'm not going to call it a masterpiece, and I'm not going to call it a failure. Because I actually enjoyed this anime for a second, and I would recommend it to those of you who have overly attached girlfriends and or playboys to understand what happens if you fuck around too much. I'll see you later.
Everything that makes me whole, even if it sounds like it.